Oh shit, I think we're recording. Welcome to our very first podcast. It could be our last depending on how this goes. This is 5 clicks from home. My name's Tristan and I'm joined by my 2 handsome co-hosts. You can't see them, which is probably a good thing considering they've had a couple of beers. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm the better looking of the 3, Ishaan. Just keep that in mind for when you actually see my face.
And
hey, and this is the Niche Doggy Dog on 5 Skits from Home. I used to be on radio, and now I'm on the podcast. You know what I mean? The only one that had more experience than these 2 on the air. What are we talking about today?
I wish there was video because, every time we're talking, we're actually looking at the computer screen like there's a camera. Even though this is just audio recording, so we should be more social and just look at each other.
I'm actually just looking at the slight reflection of myself.
I hope that... Yeah, go on.
I'm just looking at the audio recording, seeing how loud our voices are.
I'm just hoping this thing records all of us. We're going to get cut off mid-sentence when you're talking about your penis or something.
I'm just surprised that it's actually capturing my sexy voice.
Okay, so basically this podcast, we're 3 20-something-year-olds. We've got pretty much nothing going on for us, and we're kind of...
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, true that. Life sucks. That's why you have a beer.
Thank you and good night. So anyway... We're basically how this show works. There's no real formula. We talk shit. If you like it, you follow us. If you don't, you follow us and then give us hate comments. Either way, we get paid.
Either way, just keep asking me to show my dick because eventually that's going to happen to someone. Man.
You see his dick, he might get done for child molesting, and a priest might be after him next.
Okay, we should also say that we're about 3 beers in at the moment, so nothing we say now should be taken as verbatim what we...
2.
1 beer and Roy had 1 clue.
Yeah, Nish only had 1 beer and he's already fucked up. That's what you're going to learn from our podcast is that Nish is an extreme lightweight and he has very extreme ideologies that are not based in any fact.
Quite wrong. I'm currently in my boxer shorts. I'm wearing my boxers and my shirt ready to go clubbing. That's how bad I am.
I'm wearing jeans and joggers.
Okay.
Harper.
Yeah, jeans and joggers. What do you think? That's the fucking fashion criminal thing.
Hey, if they start locking people up for fashion crimes, then, good on them, but,
Lock me up and throw away the keys, sailor!
I'm gonna be the last person they get. I mean, come on, Tristan.
I know, I'm pretty terrible. I'm doing
seriously.
denim on denim, isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
It's not even denim, it's shitty.
It's
Target quality jeans.
You're wearing jeans and a denim jacket.
I should mention that Nish is just in these boxer shorts and he's revealing more than I've ever seen.
Yeah, I know. I like to get naked.
That's bullshit. You guys got naked in front of me before.
That's even better. Naked is the new fashion.
Oh, you were both drunk, so you don't remember it, but that happened.
If you were friends with me on January 1st, 2012, 2013, you would have seen a naked shot of me for 10 hours. And I had to delete it.
That photo was on that photo was on someone's phone for about 1.5 years until 2 weeks ago. Someone deleted it.
And on that note, let's get into the podcast. This is when we insert our theme song. We haven't got one yet, but basically we're going to talk about. Is it still recording?
It's still recording.
It's still recording. Basically, we're going to talk about 3 questions that we're each going to do. It's just because this is the first podcast. We want to sort of introduce ourselves through our opinions. So we each 3 questions. And it's a hypothetical, not even a hypothetical, it's just what your opinion is on the question.
Oh, for sure.
And it'll kind of reveal who we are as a person. And if these people love us, then they'll follow us.
And get us 1 million hits on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And then we can fuck up Ray William Johnson. Just kidding, I love you, Ray. Thanks for choosing my question.
No, he doesn't.
You're such a bitch.
Don't be slack, man.
So let's do the first question. Let's just get into it. Enough with this foreplay. Let's get into the fucking dirties.
Oh, what's the question?
Are bottle shops as bad as drug dealers?
No.
No, before you fucking answer, let me explain. As I explained on the couch before, but these people didn't see it. A bottle shop sells... Sorry, let me do it. A drug dealer sells a guy heroin, right?
Yeah.
And the guy goes home and he shoots up and he fucking loses his mind. It's strong shit. He goes next door and he brutally murders his 85-year-old neighbour and steals a television. He gets arrested next day. Goes to court, and one of the very first questions he'll probably be asked, apart from, why did you choose her to kill? And why'd you only get a Sony television when you could have got a much better Panasonic? Sponsor us, Panasonic! They'll be like, where did you get the heroin from? And then he'll obviously, if he wants to get some kind of leniency on his sentence, will rat out the guy will get arrested and, probably go to jail as well, depending on how big a dealer he is. Now, think of a bottle shop. They sell all this alcohol. Guy comes in, buys a bottle of Smirnoff vodka, goes home, downs it in one go, beats the shit out of his wife to death, goes into his kid's room and kills him, and then gets arrested the next day. When he goes to court, he's... Oh, Jesus, he's sick already.
Excuse me.
I know, it's a very full-on subject. I know you're sick, Nish. goes to court, the lawyer's not going to ask him where'd you get the vodka from. They're not going to ask where'd you buy it from or why you bought it or, you know. So do you think it's fair that the drug dealer gets in trouble for what his clients do when the bottle shop isn't held accountable in the same way?
Can I just throw like just something off topic? Why do you think that Sony is worse than Panasonic? Panasonic shit. Sony's actually really good.
In televisions, they're shitter.
No, they're not.
Yes,
Sony do much better television.
I went to Harvey Norman Balgala and the Indian man there, no offense, Ishaan, the Indian man there told me that Panasonic is superior in televisions.
That's because they get a better commission from Panasonic.
They will do anything to get you. It's like a telemarketer. They do anything to sell you things to outbound callers. They will do anything to get more.
One thing you learn about this podcast is I have to do it with two cunts. These guys are actual cunts. And, you know, they don't understand.
Sorry that I am, but I'm just too honest.
He's telling his boxers short.
I love my boxers.
Back to the question, come on. What do you think? Like, should they be held accountable? I don't think they should.
I think blushing.
I have a red face all the time. I'm drinking.
It's okay, Joker. Yeah, keep going.
Well, because I think it's a double standard. Like, obviously alcohol's legal and heroin's illegal, but it's a bit of a double standard when one of them is held accountable for what their customers do, while the other one isn't.
Okay, but your hypothetical situation was that after shooting up on really strong drugs, this guy somehow still had the motor functions to go next door, enter his neighbor's house, and brutally murder her, and then carry, which I'm assuming she has a heavy TV, all the way from her
That's the great thing about Panasonics. They're light and flexible for your consumer needs. Panasonic!
You don't know the tagline, do you?
I know.
Okay, so
I know what you're saying, but the thing you have to realise is that if you smash back a bottle of Smirnoff, you'd be lucky if you can still fucking walk upright. And this guy, you know, I mean, the argument isn't about what the drugs do to you. The argument is that should they be held accountable for what people do while under the influence. It doesn't matter if you had one sip of vodka or one shot of small amount of heroin.
Okay, but then what about expanding this over into
putting this
pharmaceuticals?
The mentality of themselves. The guy does drugs. Maybe I've just read this up. Like, apparently, if you have a weak mentality, drugs can affect you more. I could be wrong. If you have maybe a stable mentality, it won't affect you. But it depends on the mentality of how the person is.
The same thing's
on the individual.
The mentality.
No, but that's not the
I don't know how mentality works and all that. I'm not a therapist. I haven't done psychology.
It's susceptibility.
It's
to
drugs.
It's
susceptibility. If the person, just say for example, if the guy has a really, really weak mind system, he might just go kill the person. If he's got a strong mentality and he does drugs, maybe he's able to be stable. It just depends.
I know, I understand what you're saying.
If the guy killed his family and then, although they might say, oh, why did you do it? I was on drugs. They might try and question saying, what was going through your mind? How come you couldn't say no? Because they're in a different phase.
I understand that, but that's not the conversation, because the thing is,
I'm just saying,
the same thing can be done with alcohol. Like, one guy like yourself can have one beer and lose his mind, whilst a champion like myself can have a case and not have a problem.
Dude, you're on the floor.
I'm not going to kill anybody. I'm just saying, if the guy does drugs and all that and he kills the person...
I understand that, but...
The question is, if he's had the same experience before, why didn't he not do it in the first place?
No, I understand that. No. I understand that, but that's not the conversation. The conversation...
And also with the guy who's buying alcohol, like you said before, the dealer might get arrested.
No, he will get arrested if he gets...
Listen, he might get arrested and go to jail, but when the guy buys alcohol, what are they going to do? Close down the bottle shop? There's going to be other bottlers out there to go buy alcohol.
Exactly. That's why the argument is why is one held accountable when the other one isn't? That's what I'm asking.
Because the other one is what Ishaan said, tax, and the other one isn't tax.
It's not just tax. I think it's also because it's legal.
The other one,
it's legal because they can tax it.
Because
they want to tax it.
Like in Portugal, they've decriminalized every drug, which doesn't mean that they're legal. It means that they're decriminalized. So it means if you get caught with them, they'll say heroin, it's not legal, my friend, but maybe if you give us some cash, we can make this thing forget about it.
Well, that's
literally how it is. It's that corrupt. Decriminalized doesn't mean legal.
So it's
that's something you have to keep in mind. Like, if you get caught with it, you're still kind of in trouble. It's just
it's still a drug. That's why
I think decriminalized means you can use it in your house, but if you're caught using it in a public area, like outside a nightclub, you can still get in trouble
because it's on the street, not inside.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when the cops chase you down the road. As long as you're out of the car, they can't do anything. If you're in
the
the
car,
they can't do something.
If you're driving drunk and they catch up to you and you run into your house, they can't breathalyze you.
Same thing, different scenarios.
Yeah. It's a really weird loophole, and that's why the law is kind of fucked in a way.
Yeah, that's why the system sucks.
Is this why a fence is broken?
What fence? Oh,
Is this why you can't still in the driveway?
but you still haven't answered my question. Do you think it's fair that one gets prosecuted when the other one doesn't?
No.
You don't think it's... Exactly.
I don't think
So you
it's
agree
right,
with me?
Because then why would someone want to kill somebody and then someone else gets sent to jail?
No, it's not about what they do. It's the fact that the
I just
dealers,
said
the dealers are held responsible for what their clients do.
Well, the dealers...
Or customers,
the
I should
dealers
say.
don't
So you're
care.
saying that bottle shop owners should be held accountable as like
Well, what are they
a
gonna do?
accessory to murder?
No, I'm saying that...
for
No.
supplying-
I'm saying drug dealers shouldn't.
Shouldn't.
I think if you are stupid... Not stupid. Listen, we've all got fucking
No,
problems.
no,
We all have to-
put it this
if
way.
you want to do heroin... Go
No,
ahead
no.
and do heroin. As long as you don't hurt no one.
No,
Like, if
I
you
understand.
do heroin and you go and fucking party and have a great night,
Well,
good for you. But if you do heroin and you go and kill someone, you have to go to jail. But
Yeah,
your dealer doesn't have to go to jail.
That's what I was just thinking.
That's
the
my
dealer,
argument.
The dealer... Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Although it sounds bad that the guy might have killed somebody, the dealer has nothing to do with it. The dealer is doing his job. It's like a person working.
So you're
cash
agreeing
register.
with me?
Listen, yeah, I am. The cashier is the person. She's just doing her job, selling the thing. Same for the dealer. He's making money. He's doing.
He's a
dealing.
businessman.
He's a businessman.
He's a
Just
businessman
the
without
only
a suit.
difference is that he should be sent to jail. The guy who killed the family, he's the one that killed him. The
I
dealer
agree.
had nothing to do with it.
So this is the problem in our fucking society is that no one's like no one wants to be held accountable for their own actions.
Because no one can't admit it.
You know,
It's
people
like
want to
all those
blame.
religions
blame
and all that. It's all the same shit.
listen, if you
They're
fuck
all
up, you got to do the
intentions.
time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
except Tristan, let's just say that you get caught for something huge, except you have an out. You're gonna take that out.
Of course, but that's why there shouldn't be now. Like
Tristan's had experience. Yeah.
we'll get into that in the next podcast. But look, it's like that argument. Like you know how marijuana is illegal, and
Yeah.
people say it should be legal. Like you know how there's this huge
Yeah.
like
Didn't they
Yeah.
legalize in America?
they did it in a couple of states, but the argument is like people say like because in America, a statistic is something like 1 in 6 people in American prisons are there for marijuana related crimes. Like 1 in 6.
Maximum security or low maximum?
I don't know, but like
And the other 5 are black.
yeah,
Yes.
they're all black, unfortunately. But like that's the thing, like 1 in 6. And the argument is like, well, this is like an outrage. They shouldn't, people shouldn't go to jail for smoking marijuana and stuff. But the other argument is like, if you get caught in fucking Kansas or fucking Mississippi, one of those crazy states, and you get caught with a fucking carload of marijuana, how can you not know that you're going to go to jail? Like if you...
Why
Okay,
would
and-
you be stupid enough to have a
No,
carload of marijuana?
I know.
It's like trying to bring.
But that's the
drugs from
argument is
Mexico to
like the argument is like it should like you think it should be legal like people should be able to smoke marijuana like they drink alcohol, but the fact is it's illegal by the law. It's illegal, so getting caught you can't just say like, well, it should be legal because it's not legal. That's the argument. So like the argument is like the same with like heroin and stuff is like.
Yeah, true.
You're either on one side or another. It's like one of those things where there's not really much grey area. Either you think it should all be legal or it should all be illegal because at the moment we've got this fucking fucked up situation where alcohol, which kills more people than anyone and is a fucking crazy drug when you think about it. It's a thing that you drink like water that makes you lose all kind of social inhibitions, that makes you lose judgment.
Makes you a different person.
That all depends on the individual at the
That's
same
true.
time.
Marijuana has less of a physiological effect on you
but
than
sometimes people can die
alcohol
from it.
in huge
No.
amounts.
No, yes.
Marijuana.
Marijuana. No, because when they legalized it a few weeks ago, apparently a few people died from marijuana.
Did they die from the actual drug or doing
Yes,
something
the actual
stupid?
drug. No, the actual
We'll have to
drug.
look that
How
up.
did
But
they
like,
it can affect people differently. Okay, not every drug's gonna affect people the same way. It can
That's
all
true.
be different. Even with marijuana, you might think it's something like Bob Marley ganja. It's gonna relax you. Some people will get relaxed. Some people
Some people get
will
paranoid.
Some
Yeah.
people get paranoid. It's not the same thing as everybody's going to.
Yeah,
That's the same
it
with
depends.
everything.
Again, it
Once
depends
it's
on
on
their
the individual and the
individual.
mentality side.
but it's the same with alcohol. Like most people can drink alcohol and have a great night. Others drink alcohol and go out and knock some
Well,
guy
there you go.
to
Like
death, and
like
which is why
those
we've got these
NRL
fucking
players.
laws.
A lot of this, the guy Russell Peters. Not Russell Peters. That NRL guy who's moldy. He went to knock someone out, and then he's in jail for 2 years now.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Sometimes it's weird how it affects you. Like big guys who go to the gym, they're able to handle their alcohol. Even they're drunk, they can't hold it. Pacific Islanders, they're
They're a mess.
a mess. It just depends.
Shout
It
out
just
to all the
depends on
Pacific
mentality.
Islanders
Yeah.
out there.
I'm from Fiji, so yeah.
No, I love them. I think they're great, but they can't handle their grog.
Yeah, me and Tristan have
That's
a few
because
run-ins.
they don't in their like their ancestors haven't had as much alcohol in their like society.
True.
Yeah, so back to the subject.
Well, I think listen, we've probably gone on to this question for a little bit too long, but
We've
like
kind of like gone off the
I
subject.
know, but like listen, all I'm going to say for that question is like, should they both be held accountable? I think people should be held accountable for their own actions. Listen, if you want to do fucking cocaine or heroin or meth or whatever it is, go ahead. As long as you don't commit a crime, as long as you just take it just for the pleasure, then who am I to say no? Who is anyone to say what you can and can't do with your life? So just take it. But if you do take it and you do commit a crime, you got to go to fucking jail or whatever the punishment is. The same as if you were sober.
Punishment.
You know, if you drink a case of Smirnoff and you murder someone, you have to go to the same punishment as if you were sober and murdered someone. Same punishment. You can't use it as an excuse.
It's one you're intoxicated or one you're not intoxicated.
You know? It's the same as if you killed someone driving a car sober as opposed to drink driving. You say, well, I was fucking drunk. Well, dickhead, you know you can't drink and drive.
That's why there's...
How did you get your license? The first question on your license test is how much alcohol can you have in your system? You know you can't drive. So you can't use that as an excuse.
At the end of the day, what's the point of having laws?
So that's my argument. So what's yours? Like, is it similar? Do you think they should both be not held accountable for what their customers do? Because keep in mind, we're not arguing about whether heroin should be illegal or not. We're just saying, should they be held accountable for what crimes their customers commit whilst using their product?
Alright, I'm going to have to agree with you with the whole drug dealers shouldn't be held accountable, but then the only way to actually regulate any of that
You keep talking, I'm just checking
is to actually legalize it, because there are different types of each drug, because you can get synthetic ones where they take the formula and they flip one number and that completely fucks over the entire thing. So somebody could have that drug and have no effect on, like, have the regular effect on.
Well, that's another reason why drugs should become legal, so that it can be regulated. So that when you buy heroin, you know you're buying heroin. You know you're not buying fucking powder mixed with, you know, baking soda and toilet cleaner instead, posing as heroin. You know what I mean?
It's
like ecstasy. Like
worse than that.
It's like
worse than that.
Apparently, pure cocaine isn't actually that bad for you. Like the purest form of cocaine, like the fucking mountaineers in Nepal or wherever they live, South America, they chew the plants and they get like a caffeine boost kind of thing.
Yeah, that's because it's different for them.
The reason people fucking get addicted and die from cocaine is because it gets cut with shit to make it more commercially viable.
They get a larger.
They get more money.
They get
a
larger crop from their small.
Which wouldn't happen if it was illegal.
But it's all about money.
That's just a fact. Of course, it's all about money.
But if it was legal, okay, maybe like we were saying before, if all drugs were illegal.
Were legal.
Yeah. Okay, some people would be happy of it, but then you got to look at it. It, like we said, it affects people differently. The crime rate could be up. Why would they want to legalize it?
That's true.
If there's going to be less crimes of this, you know, some guy brought drugs and some guy in somewhere in Western Sydney is having a meth lab and they get caught. If it was legal, we wouldn't have any of these problems.
It's possible.
But then the crime rate will probably go up and the violence rate will go up as well.
Listen, alcohol is just as bad as any drug you can think of, because unlike other drugs which might make you pass out or might make you just a bit silly, alcohol you can still function relatively well, but you're functioning without actually functioning properly in your mind.
Put it this way, you know how with alcohol you have to eat to sober up and all that?
Like if you do a lot of heroin, you just pass...
Actually, that's a myth. You don't actually sober up when you eat.
Okay. Put it this way. Okay, let me retract
hangovers less.
Let me just fix this stuff. Okay, you know when you sober up slowly, drinking water and food and all that? You know how, like, you can eat and, like, you sober up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about drugs and all that? How long does a drug keep affecting you until you...
It varies. Like, cocaine's only 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
One line's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Depends on how big the line is.
That's why people get addicted, because they want to keep getting that short-term buzz. Heroin, you can be out for fucking hours, and, you know, you can take a bad hit of acid because it's not regulated, and you can be gone for 8 days. You know?
Well, guys, I'll see you in 8 days.
Alright, well, I think we've flogged this dead horse long enough. Do you guys have a question you want to ask? Like a sort of similar to that?
Who is Batman?
Bruce Wayne. End of question.
Alright, Ishaan, it's your turn question. You have 3 wishes. Are you really the head of the cookie month? No. Are you really the head of the cookie month? No. You? No. Oh, sorry, it's the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm surprised that you actually got that wrong.
Stella does that to you.
We'll come again.
By the way, Panasonic's awesome. Hey, go on.
Dude, you don't have a single Panasonic product in your house, do you?
That's why I'm shouting out to them because I want to get some.
Panasonic. He doesn't have the t-shirt saying anti-Panasonic.
Listen, for all his sarcasm, Ishaan actually has a brain on him, so that's why I really want to know what his question is.
Alright, so basically, what I want to know from you guys is...
Ask a question about clubbing, like a nightlife question. That'd be interesting.
Okay, I'll just completely change
my question for you. What were we going to say before you interrupt?
Because we're about to go out clubbing, so I'm kind of in the mindset to talk about something fun rather than politics or something. I don't want to talk about politics tonight.
Alright, well, just something simple.
Yeah.
Alright? should there actually be fucking entry fees on clubs?
No.
And adding to that as well, is it bad that girls friend zone? Yeah, we can add to both of them.
Yeah, except guys friend zone as well.
True.
Not to the same extent, because guys will pretty much fuck anything.
No,
That
guys still
moves.
friend zone.
But think about this.
Tristan, you're not a hot model like me.
I know.
You're not a hot model like me, so you probably don't get as many girls.
So this is the thing about friend zoning is that
Yeah.
like the common conception is that a friend, like when a girl friend zones a guy, you know, she's a bitch, like that fucking bitch.
Okay, but-
no, let me just
Alright,
say
I'll
one.
let you
And
finish and then I'll say my
then you
thing.
guys, I want you
Yeah.
guys, I want both of you to go on a huge rant, but I just want to say one
Okay.
thing, and then you can agree or disagree. Like when a girl friend zones, like the conception, public conception is that she's a bitch. Now. That can be true or false. It's true if she's leading the guy on saying, you know, maybe we'll be in a relationship. Maybe, you know, oh, you're so funny, you're so cute. I want a guy like you. Leading him on. And then when he like finally gets up the courage to ask her out, he's like, oh, sorry,
We're just friends.
we're just friends. And then she goes and dates another guy 2 minutes later. Or like, I don't want to be in a relationship, and she dates a guy like 2 days later. The other time is when the guy straight up asks this girl out, the guy he likes, the girl he likes. She goes, sorry, I just don't find you attractive. Like in the same way that we don't find every girl attractive. You know, she's not really a bitch then. She's just saying, like, I just don't find you attractive. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like
But she's still considered a bitch by a lot of guys. Like, that bitch fucking, like, friend-zoning me. It's like, well, no, it's because she just doesn't want to fuck you. Like, that's all it is.
when you think about it, though, there is no such thing as the friend zone, because one,
I'm about to get friendly with Nish. You go on.
Too friendly.
okay, so
He's got a
one,
massive boner.
And Tristan's getting naked, I'm going to have to cut it off.
We're ready to club, baby.
Done.
Oh, yeah, if you guys are at Mona tonight, come see us. You go on.
True that.
yeah,
There's
that-
no friend zone anymore. We are straight to second base.
Tristan, you know when this is going to go up, then one,
I know.
we're not going to be there, and two,
Speak
who
for
even
yourself.
knows what Mona is?
I know. You can go on. Go on.
True.
Mona Pub, Mona Vale Hotel.
In New South Wales, Australia.
Chris Rose.
Hey guys.
Alright. And we've got Chris here.
Chris, yes, we're doing a
There you go.
podcast.
Yeah, I just washed my hands.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's all sticky
Yeah,
and
I
wet.
know, it's all
Sticky.
Do
sticky.
you want to go up now? We
Huh?
can just end it now and just.
Yeah, just end it.